Hey y'all, and welcome back to another review of Life of Chess for the Bold and Beautiful June 27, 2025. Okay, first thing first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. Um, did anybody see the preview? I think they're gonna drop it later today or either sometime next week. But yeah, I didn't see the preview for next week's episode, y'all. But yeah, first thing first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode. What did y'all think? Did y'all like it? I said they wait to get to the good part. They want to sit up here and show these flashbacks of Jack and not Jack. Why I keep calling him Jack? Of Nick and the Brooke. I said, hold up on them. We don't want to see them right now. We want to see the crazy lady. I said we want to see the crazy lady. But yeah, I think the last thing that I saw was Luna ends up going in that drawer and she pulls out her weapon on Will or whatever, and she telling him how he's not gonna get in her way, and then it goes off. Is that where it ends, y'all? If y'all seen the episode, because it looked like something was missing. But yeah, that's the last part that I saw. But yeah, okay. So on today's episode, we're gonna start with Brooke and Nick. So he just still telling her what he saw about Taylor pulling out the engagement ring and proposing. She's still talking about she want to run by run. She wants a rundown on what happened, what was said, and stuff like that. She just in disbelief about everything. She's like, she didn't even think he was thinking about that or whatever. She was just so sure that he would come back to her, and he still. Once again on today's episode, he showed that he didn't really want to accept her proposal or propose to her or whatever. He just over here looking, and she was expressing how she feels about Brooke and Brooke finding out. And I said, look here. I said one way or another, she's gonna find out regardless. You might as well be honest with her now. But yeah, Brooke was in disbelief. So Nick ends up saying he know what he saw, he know what he heard. He was there. He was hiding behind the little trees or whatever. So he's trying to tell her, and that's when she ends up saying she want to know what was said or whatever. So he tells her about the ring, about at first, it was kind of a hesitation and stuff like that. And she was talking about how he was blindsided and all that, but he still chose to say yes. He still chose to take the ring and propose. Now we all know it's a load of baloney, but still. What else did she say? She said she thought that Ridge would always woke. She always thought that Bridge, Lord, she always thought that Ridge would wake up or whatever. And I said, and he gonna be mad that Nick went told. He gonna be mad because he was telling Taylor on today's episode how he's the one that needs to tell her stuff like that. Did he say that Brooke was his heart, or did he say Brooke is in his heart? Because I know you didn't tell your fiance that. I said, I know doggone well. Maybe he said Brooke is in his heart. Regardless. Then they always try to justify by saying, well, the reason I said this because, we have a child together. Still, he ain't no child, first of all. But yeah, yeah, I was like, he know doggone well he want Brooke still, especially when he sees her move on with Nick. But yeah, let me see what else happened with Brooke. Brooke said that she thought the Ridge would always wake up. What else? So Nick was over there trying to put the moves on her, talking about so she need to move on. He said that he was going to Italy, but now he want to help Brooke pick up the pieces and stuff. I said, go on, slide on in there. Go on, slide on in there. What else did he say? He said this is what Ridge do. He ends up going back and forth between them and playing them against each other when really it's him. I said that. Everybody on Team Brooke or Team Taylor and stuff like that, but nobody really saying that this man does this. I always say, if y'all listen to my reviews, I said that episode when he was like, he need time, he don't know who to choose, and he was staying at Eric's Den. And Taylor brought him some lunch or some type of food over there. Then Brooke showed up. And they just standing there arguing back and forth over him. And he just sitting up there smiling and tilting his head. I said, they don't see him. But hold on, y'all. I said that episode, if not no other episode, showed how he feels. But yeah, Nick said that Reed's gonna break Taylor heart and then he gonna come running back to Brooke. I said, true that. So that's when he was trying to convince her that she needs to move on or whatever. And he went over there, and that's when they start playing the flashbacks and stuff. And that's why I was like, I said, we could see the flashbacks any day. I said, I wanted to see what Luna finna do. Because the spoiler said she's supposed to be did something to Will or whatever. And then today's episode is supposed to be her on the run. But y'all know we are episode or 2 behind, so I'm assuming it's gonna happen on Monday. But yeah, that's what I wanted to see. But yeah, Nick ends up hugging her, stuff like that. She looked like she finally finna give him a chance. But I know also they said next week that Reed's supposed to come tell Brooke about Taylor and him being engaged. That's too little too late. Who we got next? Let me see. Ridge and Taylor. So, Ridge was over here acting like he's just so excited and so happy or whatever. He was talking about somehow he happy that Taylor is wearing the ring and stuff like that. I said, okay, isn't he playing in her face? Ain't that what that's called? He playing in her face at this point. But yeah, he's talking about, I'm so happy you wearing the ring and all this other stuff. They was talking about the love that they share and the fact that their grandkids gonna be happy. Thomas and Steffi gonna be happy and trying to plan the wedding. Taylor was saying how she's excited for their future together. So then she ends up saying how she knows one person that's not gonna be excited. So they both said Brooke, and they just talk about how she's gonna be in disbelief and she's gonna be upset and have a fit that they're engaged and stuff. What else did let me see. Ridge ends up saying how he has to be the one to tell her because she can't find out for nobody else. She has to hear from him. I said, too late. Nick done already. Y'all ain't see him hiding behind these trees. Y'all notice how they pick and choose what they let the character hear? Because on some episode, it was, who was that? Was it Sheila or somebody else? Somebody was standing over there and they ain't hear nothing that was said. Now he's sitting right there and he don't hear everything. But yeah, let's see. Like I said, he said he had to be the one to tell, but they had showed Nick. He had already told her everything. And then the last scene with them was they was hugging and stuff. Who we got next? Will, Luna. We're gonna combine them because it's basically, it ties together. Will, Luna, Finn, Steffi, Electra, and Baker. So Steffi then was saying how that's it, we got her, or whatever. Because Luna done sit up here and said something about the way that she, assures that she has a relationship with Finn is to get rid of Steffi. And I was like, well, she kind of did just make a threat, but at the same time, I knew he had to have specifics. She could easily say, oh, I wasn't talking about get rid of her, like harm her or murder her. I was just saying, convince her and stuff like that. She could sway it any type of way, y'all. So Baker, excuse me. So Baker ends up saying that. He ends up saying how he needs more info or whatever. And then she was like, what's going on? I said, boy, Mish, I said, get up out of there. Get up out of there. Do y'all think that the reason Will kept on, even after she found the wire, is because he knew that they needed more? Because before she found the wire, he still kept asking questions. So I'm assuming that he knew they needed more information. That's why he kept provoking her and saying stuff. But yeah, she was like, what's going on? Why are you really here? And she was like, if you really wanted me, you wouldn't be stopping me or whatever. Because she was kissing him on the neck, stuff, trying to go on, get it going. Trying to go, get it going or whatever. So he was stopping her and stuff like that. And that's when she asked him. So she started back again. And then she opened the shirt. I said, you should have stopped her. You knew you was wearing the wire. Did you forget? Yeah, she opened the shirt and she see the wire. I said, oh, he gone now. I said, he gone. He's a gunner. But yeah, she started freaking out. And what did she say to him? She ends up seeing the wire. She opened his shirt. Then Electra was watching. And they was like, oh, she saw it or whatever. They start freaking out. That's when Baker got on he got on the phone saying that to get back up now and stuff like that. I said, where backup? He said backup was nearby. They should have been in there right now. I mean, I don't think they could arrest her. Well, now they can. But I don't think they could arrest her because she didn't fully say what she was going to do. But yeah, I was like, see there? Talking about some backup, but they ain't came in yet. But yeah, she started freaking out. She was asking him, was that why he was here the whole time? And she was like, did Steffi do this? I said, she's Steffi crazy. But I mean, technically, it was his idea, though. Was Steffi involved? He was like, no, Steffi has nothing to do with this. And she started freaking out. So he started provoking her, started telling her how she going to jail or whatever. She going back to jail. She should have never been out. My dad may have been the one to put you in, get you out of prison or whatever, but I'm going to be the Spencer to send you right back. I said, you fool, you in danger. She ran over there to that drawer, got that weapon out. I said, Then he started backing up. She started going towards him. What she said? Basically that he's not gonna stop her or get in the way with her having. I said, what she think gonna happen? Like, I don't understand. Then I just thought about it. The whole teacher situation. What was that about? They just completely abandoned that storyline, didn't they? Well, I take that back. Because if she goes on the run, well, they probably gonna have her picture. Because I was about to say she could still pretend or whatever. Because don't nobody know who she is. I'm assuming the teacher don't know, or she would have said something right then and there. So I'm about to say, yeah, she could pretend to still be a teacher, but I'm assuming they're going to have her photo everywhere, though. Because I was like, why would they bring that storyline and not do nothing with it? Yet another storyline. Hold on, what they say? I think I clicked the wrong thing. It don't matter. Okay, what else? But yeah, I was like, because if I'm not mistaken, if y'all watched the episode, she didn't see that lipstick camera, did she? I don't think she did. Because he repeated, he was like, there's nothing you could do or whatever. I think before she grabbed the weapon, he was saying how there's nothing she could do or whatever because they're listening. You seen the wire. They're listening right here and stuff like that. And that's when she went and grabbed it. Wait, what else? It was something else. What was it? That's why I assumed that because she didn't know about the lipstick, that's why he decided to tell her all this stuff so she could go on and do something. She did it. I mean, she ain't did nothing yet, but they saying that she's supposed to shoot him. I don't know how true it is, but yeah, that's what they saying, that she's supposed to shoot him or whatever, and that's when she's supposed to go on the run. But we'll see, y'all. Let me see. We'll say he gonna be dispensed to send Luna back to prison. Luna ends up grabbing her weapon. Nick, Ridge, Brooke thought Ridge would wake up. We already talked about that. Yeah, the last thing was her grabbing the weapon, if I'm not mistaken. She grabbed the weapon and put it on him and stuff and telling him how he's not going to be the reason why she go back or she not going back or whatever she said. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day, a great weekend, and be safe.